In this video, we are going to convert a lower frequency data into a higher frequency data using the Eviews 9 or Eviews and any of addition you have. For let's assume I have a data for two variable. One is the BT, which is bilateral trade, and the other one is STRI, which is trade restrictions. And I want to convert this data into a daily data series, which is EPU, economic policies uncertainty, starting from 1st of January 2014, which is an annual data for a variable. And I want to convert this a annual data for two different variable, start the data starting from the starting period is 2014 till 2022. So let's start our working. Let's assume I just select this data and import the data in Eviews. I'm using Eviews 9 in this tutorial. First, I just paste the data as it is. So you can see the time frequency of the variable, that is annual data. Okay, now I want to convert this data. The first step, usually you can convert this data directly from annual to a daily data, but for the safer side, what I prefer to do, like I convert the annual data and on a monthly frequency or quarterly frequency, then I will use that data and then convert that data into a daily frequency data. Okay, let's start the working. On the new page, just select on the new page, then specify by frequency range. In this method, I'm gonna convert it as a monthly data, and that will start from 2014 to 2020. I will say okay. Back to the sheet one, simply copy the both STRI and BT, any variable you want to convert. Just simply copy, control, copy, and then back to untitled one, then paste special. And the special paste, you will see this dialog. Just simply change the frequency method. You can use the constant method, you can use the linear method, cubic point. So in this tutorial we are going to work quadratic. So I want to bring a little change in every observation. So that is why I'm using the quadratic method, and yes to all because I have more than two variable. So just see how it changed my data. You have noticed that every observation is getting changed from the year 1 to year 2. So the next step is now I will convert this monthly data into a daily time series data. Again, we go to the new page and specify the frequency. This time I will use a, let's assume if I have a 5 days data, if 10 days data, I will go for the 5 or 10 days data. Let me confirm which data type I have in there. So we have the 7 days data in this file. So I will go for the 7 days data. Now give your data frequency start date. So I'm gonna use 2014-01 month and 01 day. And the end day will be 2022. So I'm gonna use 12/31st December 2012. Just press OK. Now back to the title one and just copy those variable back to there, space special, select the quadratic and yes to all. you have noticed that the values are changed and we have converted our data into daily data. So the next step, sorry, I forget to mention the use of PCA analysis, principal component analysis. Like for sometimes we used to compute a one single variable or one index of a different nature of variables. Like trade, like bilateral trade is a different nature of data. Similarly, restrictions on trade has a different index data, and economic policy uncertainty represent a different nature of data. These are three different nature of data, and I want to compute the one single variable out of this variable. So what I will use, we use the principal component analysis tool. For that, I need to use the import the EPU data in this file and then further processing. For that, I can use these, like let's assume for I can copy these data and then I will paste this data over here, which is like BT, and I will rename it BT. The second one is STRI. Again, I will copy all the data and paste here for STRI. Now you can see we have converted the whole data series in one. Sorry, we have the data till 2022, so I don't need this data, so I'm going to delete that data. So okay, our first value is starting from the January 1st, 2014, and our next value is starting from our ending value is 2022 31st December. So that is our data. Now I want to compute another variable, which is like, let's assume I give it to that a name of var or xyz, whatever you want to calculate. Let's assume I want to compute the var. So what I do, just to drag this, or even I can drag these two values and then simply paste in this sheet. You can do that work simply by doing that. But in this file, I'm going to create a new object file. Just paste your data. Next. You can see and dated specified the data series, basic structure, the 7 days a week data. Okay. And okay, that shows that I already existed them. So okay, we will rename it to data 2. So we have that data. How to do the PCA? For the PCA, simply I will open that as a group. The next step is we will go to the view. In a view, we will check the principal component analysis, the table, the eigenvalue plots, the variable loading plots, component score plots, and everything you can see that. Similarly, if you want to see the eigenvalues plot, you can see the plots. Okay, the next step is how we're gonna make a component, principal component, a separate variable out of that. Simply, we will go to the process. In the process, make principal components and just rename the any variable you want to create. I said the var, and okay. So you have seen the values we have computed for the var. I simply am gonna take this value and going to put this value over here, or whatever your use and how you want to use, for what purpose you are going to use. So that is the video. That is a tutorial for how to convert a lower frequency data into a higher frequency data. And then in additionally, we use the PCA analysis, principal component analysis, just to create another variable out of three different nature of data variable, for some working, for some research, or whatever the demand is, whatever your need is. Thank you for watching. Take care.